Colorado Avalanche Hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Shortline Subaru. Save money, drive better. Anova, prostate cancer care in only 5 treatments with minimal side effects. Jeep, and the unique brand of freedom you'll only find in the full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com. And by Bicycle Village. Huge holiday specials going on now, including their famous Hide a Bike program. The top-rated staff will assemble and hide your bike until Christmas. Monday Night Hockey, and we've got the Avalanche hosting the Montreal Canadiens tonight. Yes, complete their 3-game homestand. And we take a look at the forward lineup, starting with the goaltenders.
And Mike Carey Price won an Olympic gold medal last year for Canada. Even though he was injured, no one knew about him. He is a top-flight goaltender, right there with Lundqvist and Quick as his best goaltenders in the game. But in the other end, Calvin Pickard back in net, starting his 2nd game ever against these Montreal Canadiens.
Runned away. Habs and Habs. And we got an offside play right away. 10 seconds into our first period.
Well, of course, he had played against Ottawa in relief, but his first start. And, you know, fans here may not appreciate this, but this was a big night, Mike. We were there. It was Saturday night, hockey night in Canada, and this was the game that was going all across the country, even to his home city in Winnipeg, hometown in Winnipeg. And he was so pumped. And Mike, he played well. Just couldn't come up, Mike, with a win and 3-2 loss.
3 goals during the 2nd period. Changed the game for Montreal. They ended up with Subban's 2 goals, including the game winner there in the 2nd period. That was the difference. Second and final time during the regular season these 2 teams to play. Over the line, Pacioretty's pass goes towards the corner, back behind the net. Side of the cage. From far side, shot goes off of Pickard. Comes back around to the point. Shot through traffic, misses the net. This Montreal team have not come up with a win in their last 3 games. 0-2-1, including the last 2 losses against the Buffalo Sabres. The puck skims around the right side. Pass into the slot, got tipped. Shot that by O'Reilly. Kept in along the far side. Duchesne dancing behind the net. Center. Oh, there was a great chance for O'Reilly. And it just missed on the connection.
I haven't seen Duchesne pull that move where he goes to the forehand. Usually comes to pass to the backhand. He turned and threw that one out the forehand.
In the half in. Long pass. Michael Scarboza. Shot. Glove save. So Scarboza into the game. His first game this season with the Avalanche.
Well, Duchesne, big game last game for the Avalanche. A goal and assist. But watch him, Mike. Usually he comes around here and goes to the backhand. Oh, man, that was a great pass, great read, great jump in by O'Reilly. Just missed. And I was talking to Matt Duchesne after last game. He was saying about O'Reilly, just you can't believe how snake-bit he is around the net. Everything but for O'Reilly.
Well, there it was right there in a ideal situation for O'Reilly. Just kind of how the season's been going, unfortunately for him. Team leader last year in goals. Carried in by the Canadiens. Down the near side, Manny Malhotra upended in the corner by Vincoeur. Rolls the puck behind the net. Grabbed by Redmond for the Avalanche. Quick pass up the wing. Chopped that out to center ice. And number 37 for the Avalanche. That is Colin Smith. His first National Hockey League game. And here's a guy, he put up some monster numbers in juniors. 106 points playing for Kamloops in the Western Hockey League. And he was tied for the team lead for Lake Erie when he got the call up along with Scarboza, who already has a shot on net in this game. Injuries to Marc-Andre Cliche and John Mitchell on Saturday against Dallas forced those call-ups for the young players. No score first period. And the puck chased out to center. Subban will get to it first, shielding the puck away from Scarboza. Circles back into the Montreal zone. Headman pass for Ellis. Moving through the middle circle. Flipped it off the boards and a race deep into the Avalanche zone. First to it, defenseman Nate Gennon. Stripped away, played up the wall. Talbot got it out to center ice and flying through center. McKinnon, it bounced off of him, goes to Iginla. Gets the puck towards the corner. Canadians take it away. Quick pass up ice. There down the near wing by Eller. Shot around the boards. Wheeled up the far side. Cut off. Thrown across. Bounces top of the circle. Kept in by Montreal. Gonchar to the puck. Recently acquired from the Dallas Stars. Behind the net with the puck. Number 51, David Desharnais. Tripped up. Gets back up to his skate. Tapped it back behind the net. To the far side point. Kept in. Pass. Gonchar. One-timer off the heel of the stick, but partially blocked by Landeskog. Dumped in. Read today, can't believe it. Gonchar, Peter, 105 years of Montreal Canadiens hockey. He's the first skater over the age of 40 to play for the Montreal Canadiens. There's been a couple of goaltenders, including Gump Worsley and George Hainsworth. He's the first one over 40. It's remarkable. Shot by Holden gets blocked. Canadians have the puck. Pass out to center. McKinnon. Bounce pass off the boards. Out to Shield is the goaltender Calvin Pickard. Tapped into the corner. Canadians get it back. Centering pass. Blocked by the Avalanche. Wrestled away. Colorado's got it. Played around the wing for Tanguay. Played one season in a Montreal Canadiens uniform. Stripped away by Montreal. Pass by Gallagher. Gets blocked. Knocked down. Offside. Montreal.
Well, Mike, when you look at it, this is now the 8th and 9th player called up from Lake Erie. You got Colin Smith and Michael Scarboza. Mike, they come up. It's been 2 goaltenders, a defenseman, and now 6 forwards have been called up for the Colorado Avalanche. And Smith was about as excited as you can be to play in tonight's game, his first one. He'll be the 3rd Avalanche player called up from Lake Erie to play in his first game in the National Hockey League.
Let's go ringside. Here's Julie Browman.
Well, just following up on what you guys were saying about Colin Smith, I talked to him as well, and he did seem more excited than nervous. And Patrick Roy said that the Lake Erie coaches really like his intensity, his speed, and his grit, guys.
Thank you, Julie. He's out there making that face-off, along with Tomas Sinsir and Cody McLeod. Pass up the wing, out to center ice, and this is Smith. Number 37 for Colorado. Ships the puck behind the net. Turned away to the far side wing. Bumped out to center ice. Pushed ahead. Smacked down by Gennon for Colorado. And then nailed into the Montreal zone by McLeod. Carey Price handling the puck. And Gonchar took it back from behind the net.
Stand right here, White. Stand right here.
Like neither club played yesterday. They're both rested. And if this game goes according to plan, it will be fast. Because Montreal Canadiens, like the Avalanche, love to up the pace.
Puck turned out towards center ice. Scooped across by Mike Weaver. Passed through the middle for Parenteau. Former Avalanche, P.A. Parenteau. Having a good season for the Montreal Canadiens with 6 goals, 11 points. Center ice. Long pass. Banked in. And off of Johnson, skate to the corner. Weaver, Montreal defenseman, lobs the puck to center. And the puck rolls on edge. And the icing call against the Montreal Canadiens stops the action here in the first period. Let's take a look at tonight's winning combo presented by Black Jack Pizza.
Mike, you know, a lot of times we'll talk about the technical side. This is more the mental side for the Avalanche. They're 1 game under 500. Yesterday in the locker room, must have talked to 6 players, you know, independently. It was get back to 500. Climb the ladder means get themselves back into a playoff spot. They're 5 points out right now. Win tonight, they will only be 3 back.
McKinnon, pass in front, shot, big save by Price, robbing Landeskog after a nice feed by McKinnon. Landeskog got it back. Captain for the Avalanche plays the puck to the point for Barry. Rims it around, they're off by Gilbert. Blocked. Barry wrestles the puck away. Pass behind the net. Landeskog, McKinnon shoots, and then it's stopped by Carey Price. Good shift for the Avalanche, but it's still scoreless in the first in Denver.
There's no more pressure in hockey than the goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens. One, the tradition of the club and the great goaltenders they've had, but the pressure from the press. But everyone that I've been associated with, Mike, that knows Carey Price has got the personality. He gets flustered by nothing. Nothing bothers him. He just goes out and plays this game, and he is a great goaltender. This is the Montreal Canadiens club right now that, you know, maybe not as good as their record, but Carey Price will make it awfully hard to beat him.
Well, I think he might have been the difference maker when the Avalanche played this Canadiens team on October 18th in Montreal. He made some amazing saves in that game.
And just ask Matt Duchene. 10 shots and only got 1 goal.
Shots advantage to the Avalanche. 3-1. No score in the game. And icing call against the Colorado Avalanche, bringing the face-off back in the Colorado zone.
A good look at Alex Tanguay. Alex arguing about that icing right there. But boy, I'll tell you, has it been fun to watch. His first multi-point game last game for the Colorado Avalanche. He's got 9 points the last 9 games. But Mike, he got the game-winning goal in that hockey game, and it was a big one in the second period. And you know, like, he just is playing at such a high level.
Out right now for the face-off, along with O'Reilly and Duchene. Tanguay stick handles his way down the slot, picked off. Gallagher, quick pass out to center ice. Plekanec shoots it too far. And Pickard will handle it, put it into the corner. Pass behind the net. Handled by Gennon. Comes out of the corner with the puck for Colorado, makes the pass. And Tyson Barrie, a lot of room, then goes cross ice with the pass for Duchene. On to O'Reilly. Zips it around. Price drops the puck behind the net. Shot around the near side of the wing for Crust. Back to the corner. Gunshot. Shoots it around the wall. Out to center ice with a lead pass at the red line. Then brought in it down the far side. The catch to the corner. Flicked it for Ellen. Takes it off the backboards. Comes out in front. Turns. Fans initially. And scooped it back down towards the corner. Cut off by Frost. He turns and shoots. Save made by Pickard. Loose puck. And the Avalanche are on it. Pushed out to center ice for Talbot to take. Comes in down the wing. And pulls up and waits. Talbot into the circle. Pass behind the net. Gets it back. Wraparout try. Denied by Price. And Talbot. Handoff. Pushed along the end boards by Scarboza. Talbot back to Scarboza. Pass to the point. Shot through traffic. Save made. Loose puck. Picked up and carried up ice by Bruck. 3-on-2 for Montreal. Sekac walks in. Scores. And it is 1-0 for Montreal. Jiri Sekac. He just waited and waited and got a bounce off of Pickard to give the Canadiens the early lead.
Right, gosh, how many times do you see this? There's a big save at one end, and there's a quick break to the other, because what happens on these plays is that everyone starts to come down low for the Avalanche. All 3 players are down low. The puck squirts out, and now you got a 3-on-2. And you're trying to buy time. If you're the defenseman, you're trying to buy time. Nobody quite gets back, and it just walks in. That's a nice play. A nice, Mike, he used the time and space well on that play.
1-0 for Montreal.
Like, how about this for a stat, though? Montreal Canadiens has their 8th first-period goal.
Covered by the goaltender, Carey Price. Let's give you the Jeep scoring summary on their 8th first-period goal. The goal belongs to Jiri Sekac, as he gets credit for his 4th goal of the season.
And Mike, unfortunately for the Avalanche, they're looking at the club in Montreal Canadiens. They're 8-0 when they score that first goal.
Crust at 8:09 with the assist on the goal. Sekac giving Montreal the lead here in the first period of play. Erik Johnson turning back through the near face-off circle. Pass out to center ice. Chipped ahead by Landeskog. Banked off of Markov. We told you earlier about that stat about Gunshot. First player for Montreal is a skater over 40 years of age. How about Andrei Markov, Peter? Can you believe this? Playing tonight ties him for 20th all time. Again, 105 years of hockey history here for Montreal. But all time, 20th in games played. That's remarkable. You think about all the players who played in this wonderful uniform.
Wonderful uniform?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking to Peter McNabb here. It just brings up bad memories, doesn't it?
Absolutely the worst uniform in the National.
Ruined a few possible great moments for Peter McNabb. We got an icing call on the Colorado Avalanche. We look at tonight's Coors Light Cold Hard Facts.
And this is the kind of season that Tyson Barrie is putting together. You project his season out, and he would have only Steve Duchesne, of course, with the Quebec Nordiques at 62, but he would have more assists than, for example, Ray Bourque in the Cup year 2001.
From behind the net, puck slides around the boards. Weaver pinching in, cut off by Tanguay. Squirts free. Gallagher out in front, shot off the side of the net. Chase to the corner. Otenyuk, hand off to Gallagher. Spins. Duchesne watching him. Hand off. Pass back towards the point. Got caught in the skate of O'Reilly. Yep, ice for Tanguay. Slows things up. Makes a pass for Barrie. And the puck behind the net. Otenyuk puts it up the wall. Out towards center ice. That was just a small little thing, but what Tanguay did at that blue line, it's a small little thing, but unless you're really watching the game, you have to really appreciate what he did coming in with Barrie on that pass.
He almost sent Barrie in home free on a 2-on-2 where he looked like he was pinned against the wall.
Great play. Landeskog, center ice. Powers his way through. He's in over the line. Cross ice pass knocked out of midair by Markov. Chopped around for Subban. Up the wing, Johnson. Back towards the point. McGinley manning the blue line. Spins the puck around. Race for the puck. Russ got there first, able to chop the puck into the neutral zone. McGinley retrieves for Colorado. Pass comes across the ice. Angles in. No icing on the play as Subban cuts off the puck. Makes an out the pass. Gets it back. Then comes across ice with the pass. Pushed on into the zone by Malhotra. Into the Colorado end. Nice play by Hayda. Sends it up ice. Scarboza moving down the wing. His shot goes towards the net. Steered away with the stick by Price. Grabbed and taken out to center ice by the Canadians. Brought in down the far side wing and a shot. Taken by Malhotra. Steered aside by Calvin Pickard. Chopped around the wall. Holden for Colorado will get to the puck. Banged it off the glass and out. Play continues on. Struggle into the corner. And it's kicked free. Puck off of Gonchar. Up the near side wall. Towards Parenteau. Kick back. Emelin will chase it down for the Canadiens. Stripped away by the Avalanche. Up high in the slot, Barrie turns and shoots. Had the puck blocked. Scooped out towards center ice for Pacioretty. Finds Desharnais. Skates in. Pulls up, waits, and hooked it down the boards for Pacioretty to take. Pass back to the far point. Markov, wrist shot. Blocked into the corner by Pickard. Desharnais in the slot. Pacioretty slides it back. Subban walking in. He shoots. Had it blocked. Scooped up by Desharnais. His pass too far for Pacioretty. Chopped up the wall by Barrie for the Avalanche. Up the far side. And it comes straight back to Barrie.
This is what Montreal likes to do. They press and press and press. It's all about speed.
Markov carries the puck in. He shoots. And it was tipped wide of the net. Parenteau slaps the puck around the end boards. Race to the corner. Galchenyuk had it for a moment. Taken away by McKinnon. Skates behind his own net. Flips it back in or out to center ice for Iginla. To Tanguay. Waits. Bounce pass off the boards. Cut off by the Canadians. Bounce back up for Gallagher. Works his way down the wall. Going to slip to a check of Hayda. Swung away by Landeskog for Johnson. McKinnon's pass gets blocked by Buchanan. Taken back by McKinnon. Long pass through center ice for Iginla. Broken up. Backhanded ahead. Back into the Colorado zone. Johnson leaves the puck in the corner for Landeskog to take. 6:40 to go in the first period. 1-0 for Montreal. Zikash with the goal. Avs though out shooting Montreal 6-5. Puck snapped around the wall out to center ice. Emelin backing up. Slides it across for Gonchar to take. Bounces it off the wall. Sending it deep into the Colorado end. Canadians first to the puck. In the corner. Kicked along the boards by Prust. Centering pass. Slipped away. Aired up ice by Smith. Dashing out the center to the red line. Push the puck ahead. Racing for it. Collides in the corner with Weaver. The puck comes free. Canadians have got it. Out to center ice. Lars Eller to the red line. Shoots. And it banked off of a Redmond behind the net. Scramble for the puck. It is freed up to the corner. The Canadians have it. With the puck in the corner. Dale Weeks cuts out in front. Comes to Weaver. Shot through some traffic. Still loose. Tipped into the corner. Canadians have got the puck. Moving along the near side. Tangradi for Montreal. Still with the puck. Back to the point for Weaver. Just off the bench. Shot goes high. On that chance by Malhotra. Cut off in the corner. Pass. Lifted up and out of the zone. Gilbert sends it across. Cross ice pass. Picked off. Intercepted by McLeod. Winds and shoots and misses high. Tipped by Gilbert. Retrieves the puck. Makes the pass across for Weeks. Cross ice. A bump. And the door for the Avalanche bench was open. That's where the puck went as it goes out of play. Montreal with a 1-0 lead in the first period in Denver. Luxury has an address. Cooney Lexus invites you to see the full line of Lexus all-weather drive sedans and luxury utility vehicles for 2014. They're available at Cooney Lexus of Greenwood Village and Colorado Springs.
Look at these numbers, Mike. I mean, it's extraordinary. When they win, they've outshot the opposition 56-24. In their 7 losses, Mike, they got 4 goals and they've given up 32. They get beat 7-1, 5-0. And
They win big, they lose big,
They win
right?
big, they lose big, but they're winning a lot more than they're losing.
They have 16 wins this season, 16-7-2 the record, 34 points. As play began tonight, there are a lot of teams in the NHL with 34 points.
6, Mike, 6 atop the standings, 34 points.
Again, bounce the puck down the ice into the Montreal zone. Price out to handle it. Time for Canada. Shoots it down the ice, back into the Colorado end. 1-0 for Montreal. Goal at 8:09. Gary Sekash with the puck, with the goal, with the puck right now is Tyson Barrie. Shoots it across for Gennon. Lead pass ahead for Matt Duchene. Skates in over the line. Coming wide. Rolls to the boards. Flips the pass. Cut off by Markov. Slaps it around. Pacioretty. Nice play to spring Plekanec into the Colorado zone. Works his way to the boards. Pass behind the net for Weiss. Tied up by Duchene. Pacioretty drives in the corner. The puck up in the air. Drops down for Ginlin's sake. Makes a pass for Landeskog. Curling back. Runs into a man. Lost the puck. Pacioretty shoots. And Pickard robbed him. Max Pacioretty, dangerous guy to have a puck coming down the slot. Great save by Pickard. Did you know? Brought to you by Stevenson Automotive. Here is tonight's question. Now, first of all, to you from failing hands, we throw the torch. Be yours to hold high. That has been in the Canadiens locker room since 1952. And why does that pertain to our question? Well, which former Avalanche player was the last to carry the torch out of the old Montreal Forum to its current building? Was it C1 Pierre Turgeon, C2 Mike Keane, or C3 Patrick Roy?
And Mike, the highlight of that ceremony was Rocket Bouchard. It's the ovation they gave him.
Out to center ice comes Talbot. Long shot. Price makes the save, covers the rebound. With 3:39 left in the first. 1-0 Montreal.
And Patrick Roy, of course, Mike, you know, they were asking about it because tomorrow will be the anniversary of Mike the game where he had all the goals scored against by the Detroit Red Wings, and you know, they asked about it. And they said the hatch has been a long time buried. As far as that goes, they retired his number there in Montreal, and you know that's a very distant memory.
But a moment that changed the history for Colorado Avalanche forever.
Hockey, really, when you look at it, and some of the rivalries that went on with Detroit, that was a big part of it.
Tangradi moves the puck around the wall for Montreal towards the corner. Holden ties up his man. Now Holtra. Puck kicks behind the net. Redmond makes a quick pass. Lobbed out to center ice by Smith for Vincier. Down the slot, looking for McLeod. Bouncing back in front of the net. Wrapped around the glass. Tangradi bumped by McLeod. Behind the net. Gonchard's got it. 1-0 Montreal. 3 minutes to go in the first period. Gonchard's pass gets tipped by Tangradi into the Colorado zone. Gennon receives the pass, sends it down the ice, skipped by O'Reilly, and Colorado called for icing.
Well, Mike, it's hard to believe that next year will be 20 years since the big trade. And you look at Patrick Roy's career, 2 cups with each franchise. His number raised here, his number raised in Montreal. And the only player to ever win 3 Conn Smythe trophies as far as MVP of the playoffs. Just, I guess it will always come down to that argument. Who's better, Roy or Brodeur? I mean, that seems to be the only 2 guys.
Speaking
on that
of Brodeur,
yeah.
tells the big news.
Well, St. Louis. I mean, it looks like it's going to come true after a long time.
Where he's going to sign with the Blues. And with their injury to Elliott, they need a goaltender. Martin Brodeur is going to get a chance to play for St. Louis. O'Reilly with the puck for the Avalanche. We've got a couple of games this month, right?
Three games against St. Louis, so the odds are one of them. We're going to see.
How interesting will that be?
Holy cow.
That will be fun to look forward to seeing. 2 minutes to go in our first period. Quick pass up by, slipped away. Picked up though. Pass towards Pacioretty, slipped away in the slot. Shot by Gonchar. He fumbled it, picked it back up. Backs up top of the circle. Cross ice pass for Pacioretty. Lob back off the boards. Held in. Evelyn shot. Tipped away by Barry. Flung up the boards. Out to center ice. Carried in. Over the line by McKinnon. To Landeskog. Shot hit the side of the net. Punched away by the Canadians. Flung out to center. Hayden to McKinnon. Steal. Pacioretty shoots. And another save by Pickard. I don't know what it's about Pickard and Pacioretty, Peter. I had this sense in that game on October 18th in Montreal as McKinnon comes in, circles back behind the net. Pacioretty, to me, got robbed a number of times by Pickard in that game. And he already here a couple of times tonight. Johnson centers. There's a chance. Right on the doorstep. Another opportunity for Johnson, but it's flicked away. Ada coming back for the puck with less than a minute to go in the period.
But it's been McKinnon's line. The Avalanche have had any offense in the first period. It has been that line.
McKinnon, Iginla, and Landeskog comprise the line. Price, keep the puck around. Puck comes free. Turned over. Here's a chance. Briere scores! Danny Briere goes back to haunt his old club, tying the game with 34 seconds to go in the period.
Mike, if you don't think this doesn't feel sweet for Danny Briere, there was it wasn't an easy time for him in Montreal. He was sort of in and out of the lineup a little bit. And now, Mike, as he did last game against Dallas, the Avs were down 1-0 in that game. It was Briere goal that tied it at 1. Here, in this first period, it looked like Montreal Canadiens were going to skate off with a 1-0 lead. Instead, nope. Danny Briere, his 6th goal of the season now for the Avalanche.
He was a healthy stretch for 7 games in a row. This now makes 8 in a row that he's been back in the lineup. And so important to this team. Waits with the puck. Moves it behind the net. Tanguay up the wall. Briere, 6th goal of the season, tying it up in the final minute of the period. Whacked around the near side.
Briere from Scarborough
Center.
That's 4 goals in the last 6 games.
And we've come to the end of the period. By the way, Scarboza got an assist on that one. So in his first game this season for the Avs, he assisted on Briere's game-tying goal. It's 1-1 after 1. Well, it kind of lived up to what we thought. We had some skating that first period.
There was not much play in that neutral zone. Both clubs, I thought Montreal showed why they're a good hockey club. When they get that puck down low and they start to cycle, they're a dangerous hockey club.
Biggest save was a breakaway chance by Pacioretty. Pickard stopped him. Montreal scored first, but the Avalanche get a last-minute goal from Danny Briere to tie it. And so we're at 1-1, headed towards the second period of play. And Calvin Pickard, Peter, was called upon to make some sparkling saves in that first period.
A couple of big ones, Mike, when the score was 1-0 for the Montreal Canadiens. And you know what it's like in this league? You get a 2-goal lead. That's tough for most teams to come back on. They're the biggest save of the period for Pickard. That's Pacioretty. But Mike, this is the play of the period for me. Briere follows it through, gets the puck right here. Mike, you talked about 4 goals in the last 6 games. Let me tell you how important those goals have been for the Avalanche. We talked about the Avalanche have won 7 of 9 games, then trailing at some point. Well, over the course of the last 6 games, scored against Washington, made it 1-1. Scored against Arizona, won the game in overtime. Scored against Dallas, tied the game at 1. Scores against Montreal, ties the game at 1. They have been huge goals for his hockey club in this game. And listening to Patrick Roy talk about Briere yesterday, you know what's really interesting? He was saying when he's out for those games, it was tough on him. But Mike, you need players like that for young guys to learn from. You've got to have a guy that you're a veteran player. Young guys are watching to see how you react. If you go into a shell, your personality changes, all of a sudden you're that cranky old guy that no one can talk to. That does no good for a hockey club. Now, no one likes to go through it, and he hated going through it because you got that competitive pride. But you show young guys how you're supposed to react to adversity. And those lessons, you know, they don't show up on the ice right here, but they show up through the locker room in a big way.
Can change careers when you see, all right, that's how you handle things.
Exactly. That's how you handle with this. You'll see another guy. That's how you handle success. That's how you handle the ups. That's how you handle the downs. And because it's inside of your career, you've got to learn these things. They don't just come, you know, right away in every situation.
As have the puck as we start our second period of play. Game tied at 1. Avs out shooting Montreal in that first period, 11-8. Galchenyuk slides the puck across off the skate of his teammate Lukanich. Pushed to the corner by Pickard. Sent up the wall for O'Reilly. Bounced out through center ice. Duchesne stretching for the puck. Still working for it. Duchesne has it. Moves it behind the net. Centered. O'Reilly scores! And it's 2-1 for the Avs. A last-minute first period goal. A first-minute second period goal. Peter, I love Duchesne's work. He did not give up on that puck coming down the wall.
And, well, you know, we've talked about it. Little play by Johnson right there. Great outlet pass to get this all started. And the Avalanche, Duchesne, who had a couple of points last game, a goal and an assist, stayed with it. Look at Tanguay. Oh, Mike. You know, we've talked about it so much. But his vision with the puck, his ability to make that play like this, look at that, just by the corner of the net. And suddenly O'Reilly now has a big goal for the Avalanche.
Colorado leads the game 2-1. Let's give you our Connect for Health scoring summary. Ryan O'Reilly, 4th goal of the season, the 35-second mark. Alex Tanguay, Matt Duchesne as line mates. Getting the assists, and the Avalanche have their first lead of the game. They're up 2-1.
They're great passing down low by the Avalanche. But I'll tell you, Mike, a play that will not get recognized was the play by Johnson down in the corner. He made a great little pass. Montreal had good pressure on him, and he went a little backhand pass up the ice, and all of a sudden the Avalanche are in the other end.
Redmond puts the puck in. Slowed up by Price. The Avs lead this game 2-1 from the point. Shot by Holden. Blocked. Hooked up off the boards by Subban. Eller gets the puck. His pass off of Prust. Avs get it back. Well, if you left early to go to the refreshment stand or arrived late from the refreshment stand, you missed 2 Avalanche goals here at Pepsi Center. Subban being chased. Makes a handoff. Pass up the wall for Prust. Sends it over towards P.K. Subban. Reaches the red line. Pass ahead. This Montreal team has not won the last 3 games. 0-2-1 in their past 3. And they're trailing in this one as the Avs lead at 2-1.
Watch this play by Johnson. He dumps it up the board. Now the Avalanche are gone. He gets the puck out of the zone. The speed of Duchesne, Mike, he is so tough to stop when he's in full stride like that. Comes down the ice, one-hand pass, but there's the play right there. Now Riley comes in, has a stick on the ice, makes himself available. Great play there, but the pass by Tanguay was perfect.
Malhotra so good on the face-offs. Will take this draw against Colin Smith. Clean win by Malhotra. Shot comes wide of the net. Smith in his first NHL game. Here's the puck from the 37 for Colorado. Been served and dumps it ahead. Caught by Price. And we're 2 minutes into the second period. Avs have gone ahead. They lead it 2-1. There's Colin Smith.
You know, for the Montreal Canadiens, first of 4 games on the road. For the Avalanche, interesting to see. I don't think anybody's going to be available for the Avalanche, so this could be the group that they take on a little mini 2-game road trip for the Colorado Avalanche at Calgary and at Winnipeg. But Montreal 4 games, Mike, on the road before they return home.
As win the faceoff, shot by Barry, flag down in front, shot by Duchesne, blocked. I think it hit his teammate O'Reilly. To the corner, O'Reilly with the puck. One to the half boards, back into the corner for Duchesne. Quick movement. Again, quick. Moving along the end boards to Tanguay. Backing up. Gives to Duchesne. Now Holter trying to slow down Duchesne. Spun the puck back around for O'Reilly. Punched it out in front. Cut off, though, by the Canadiens. Galchenyuk bangs it ahead. Icing called on Montreal. Good start to this period for Colorado.
They see for the Avalanche, Mike, how the season started, the first 17 games, the last 7, and everything's just better. I mean, their defensive zone coverage, the confidence, the club had a couple power play goals last game. But, you know, you can feel it coming. Even the 2 games they lost, they were in it until late. And just a great play Ovechkin and a great play by Patrick Kane were the difference in those games.
Evelyn nails the puck out to center ice. Punched ahead, taken back by Johnson for Colorado. Quick pass for Iginla. Aims the line, he shoots, and sent a sizzling shot wide of the net. Lukanets to center ice. Over the line with the puck. Galchenyuk sent it wide. Lukanets reels in the puck, winds it back to the point. Subban across for Markov into the slot shot, and that one hit, I think, the post, knocked down. That was a funny bounce off the post. To the corner, Parenteau with the puck, back to the point for Markov. Wide, big shot, missed the net. McKinnon to Landeskog. Up for Johnson, turned back for the Canadiens. Carried in, the Subban spins, drop pass, Parenteau shoots. Deflected wide by Pickard. Back to the point. Pacioretty shoots, that's blocked. Johnson got it back. Backhands it out to center ice for McKinnon. Subban will take the puck as the Avs make a line change. 2-1 for the Avs. O'Reilly and Briere with the goals for Colorado. At center ice, Weaver snaps the puck across. Desharnais puts it across for Pacioretty. Scoop with the backhand by Redmond. Sgarboza finds Holden between the circles in his own zone. And Zach Redmond gets the pass and heads out to center. In over the line, turns and shoots, saved by Price. He'll pull it back and cover the puck for a faceoff.
Sort of an, Mike, is puck comes through and just bounced straight in the air. I think Pickard obviously got a piece of the original one, but it's the funniest thing for hockey players. Just up. Oh, it hit the crossbar. It did hit the crossbar. Yes. But when the puck goes straight up in the air, the strangest things happen. Players are not used to looking up. And they know the game is played on the ice. When you start looking up, you know, you're out of position, you're floating around, you look like you're really out of your element.
Vulnerable to get hit.
Yeah, exactly.
And center ice, Barry with the puck. Pass up ice. Smith dropped it back. Gannon. He's back for Smith, turned it over. Eller shoots, and another nice stop by Pickard, but then a penalty. That's twice Pickard, after a giveaway by the Avs, has saved the day.
The Avalanche caused their own trouble there, Mike. They had the puck in the neutral zone, and they brought it back into their zone. And that's when bad things started to happen. Just rolls off the stick. And you talk about a helpless feeling if you're Smith. It's your first game, and the puck just slipped off your stick, and now someone's got a quick break. This is when your best friend becomes the goaltender. Very best friend.
Go over and give him a big hug.
Oh, yeah.
Hug an angler, hug a goalie.
Number 5,
Shot around the wall. Near side half court power play for Montreal. They get it in the penalty box. Slashing penalty at 4:41. Eller. Far side wall. Desharnais. Back to the point for Subban. Montreal with the man advantage. Centering pass. Comes to the top of the circle. Desharnais. Below the circle with the pass for Pacioretty. Back for Desharnais to Pacioretty. They exchange positions. To the point, Subban. Dished off, Pacioretty. Cruising into the circle. He shoots, and it dribbled off the Pickard. Crashing in the corner is Hayden. 6 players in the corner. And the puck comes free for the Avalanche. Johnson gets it up ice. An odd man rush developing. Cross-ice pass for O'Reilly. Dumps it in, but the Avs are called for being offside.
The Montreal Canadian power play has not worked well of late. But you see, against the Colorado Avalanche, it has been terrific. The last 8 consecutive games against the Avalanche, they scored 13 goals. They've scored a goal in each one of them. And it has been, Mike, how many times has it not been the difference in some very close games between these clubs?
Well, the Avalanche 8-1-1. All-time here in Denver against Montreal. And we're leading this game 2-1. 45 seconds remaining in the Gennon slashing penalty. Balled at 4:41. Plekanec scoop the puck into the corner. Redmond first to arrive for the Avalanche. Gallagher trying to get it free from Montreal. There are 3 Avalanche players in the corner. Whipped around. Galchenyuk towards the point. Markov sends it across for Gonchar. Plekanec into the circle. Down low. Galchenyuk centered. Shot scored. Markov came down the wing. He got open and scores a power play goal to tie the game at 2. Andrei Markov. Long-time veteran, gets his 3rd of the season, 2nd on the power play.
That's just a really well set up power play. You know, it all started to play the corner. It was an unusual kind of play, and there were 4 Montreal Canadian players within about 2 feet of each other down in the corner trying to outnumber the Avalanche. Well, eventually they got puck control, then they started to move it around, and you're going to see that late, nice pass. He threw it under the stick, and it was just a great pass across. Markov coming in from the point.
2-2 hockey game. Power play goal for Montreal. And we resume play here in the 2nd period.
Montreal
goal coming at 6:28. Galchenyuk, Plekanec with the assists. And we are knotted up 2 apiece in the 2nd here in Colorado.
We're back at the Pepsi Center in the 2nd, knotted at 2, Colorado, Montreal. Always a very special night when the Canadians come to town. We're with Jean Leroux right now. Now, Jean, you're from Montreal, but you live in Denver. You're an Avs fan, but you are also a very big fan of Peter McNabb. Tell me why.
Yes, I am, because I think Peter McNabb did the most unbelievable statement after a loss against when he was with Boston, and he went to the Montreal locker room and thanked them for their win. And I think Peter McNabb was a very aggressive player, but he is such a gentleman. And of course, he's been through other stuff, but Peter McNabb is a warrior. I know you never get the Stanley Cup ring, but he played for the best.
Thank you, John. See, we are fans of you, Peter. We have found all of your fans, guys.
No, you found my type of people?
Yes.
Old friend there, Peter?
Oh, no, old friend, new friend. I speak his language. I know what he said. You know?
It's very clear to you.
Do you want, exactly, do you want me to sort of tell you what he actually said?
Yeah, translate for us. Subban with the puck, frontside pass, brought in by Dan Grady. He shoots, knocked down in front of the net, backhander, goes off the Pickard. Well, the Canadians a little life after their power play goal. Swarming around the end zone. Point for Gonchar. Towards the corner. Weiss punches along the end board for Tangradi. Handoff back for Weiss. Threw it off the boards to the point. Shot by Emelin. Slowed up by O'Reilly. Broke his stick on the play. Tanguay shoots it down the ice. Bounce back to the red line. And O'Reilly hammers it in. Stopped by Price behind the net. Outlet pass for Eller. Poked away. Duchesne after to the corner. Staying with it. Still battling for the puck. O'Reilly from the knees. Chopped away from him all the way down the ice by Eller. And they are calling Montreal for icing. Let's take a peek. Who is in the groove? Brought to you by Groove Subaru.
Well, Calvin Pickett's record over the last 4 games. Started 2 of them. Finished 2 of them. Won the 2 that he finished for the Avalanche. First time in NHL history the player's first 2 wins came in relief. But Mike, the thing that's so impressive, the save percentage, .955. He really is highlighted, but unfortunately that maybe his loss, because he was so good against the Chicago Blackhawks.
I'm going to say in that game, Peter, 42 saves in that game. What's interesting to me is what Avalanche player holds the record for, I think, a rookie goaltender making the most amount of saves. He's down on the Canadiens bench right now, and that would be Marc Denis. He's working as a broadcaster for the Montreal Television, and he's down there between the benches, between the Avs and the Montreal bench. Marc Denis, he holds the record. And there he is.
There he is, and one of the nicest guys that the Avalanche have ever had.
Yeah.
But what's the trivia question about him?
Well, he was the first ever Avalanche draft choice.
Exactly right.
Come on.
Oh, sorry.
With the
man, can't slip nothing by.
A little tough.
Who was that?
I was loud. Behind the net, Price with the puck gives to Subban. Back into the corner. And that was an interesting time because he had to come in right when Patrick Roy was at his heyday. And then ultimately went on to the Columbus Blue Jackets. And now working in TV for Montreal. Covered in the front of the net by goaltender Calvin Pickard.
Well, we're getting to the halfway point of the game. It's 2-2. It's been a different kind of game. No one's really taken control. Little pockets of the game when both clubs have been in charge. So, Mike, you get back to that same thing that the Avalanche have been in the last while. Those so many close hockey games. They had the 5-2 win last game against Dallas, but other than that, all these one-goal games. So the Avalanche seem like they're right back in that kind of game.
Montreal now leading in shots, 18-16. They got some life after that power play goal, but the Avalanche with the puck. Drop pass for O'Reilly. Flicked it to the side of the net. Duchesne using his speed, first to arrive. Centering pass, cut off. Galchenyuk, center ice for Gallagher. Skates down the wing, followed up by Galchenyuk. Runs into Barry, takes away the puck. Here in the pregame interview with Tyson Barrie, I said, you obviously love getting involved offensively and getting points. Duchesne cuts in, he shoots, and he scores! What a shot!
Mike, it didn't.
By Matt Duchesne.
I'm not sure it did, Mike.
You don't think that went in?
I think it went post-post.
The crowd is up. They're cheering. Looked like Duchesne was celebrating. Let's take a look. See if it did or did not go in.
Yeah,
The crowd stood up. Boy, I thought that one banked in. Let's take a close look, Peter. Tell me about this.
Post-post. The Avalanche have just watched it on the big Pepsi Vision. Great speed, great shot, and that's one of those ones that just right across the goal line. That's that patented move that Duchesne makes, where the defenseman just puts the stick out to try and stop the speed, tucks it under the stick. Here it is right here. Now watch for our posts. Short side post.
Wow.
And, yep. Just that close.
Well, they celebrated, but it doesn't count. No goal. So I asked Tyson Barrie, I said, you obviously love to get involved offensively. He said, I was about 11. I got too heavy. I couldn't skate well enough. They put me back on defense. And I've been there ever since.
And I should have been. So I was obviously out of position my whole career.
Well, after that look, no goal. And it's still tied up at 2. Well, boy, you saw players around the net. Barry, Duchesne, all celebrating. The crowd was up on its feet, but it hit both posts, but did not go in for Matt Duchesne. So it remains a 2-2 game in the second.
Life gets tough on your car. We're here to make it right again. At Maaco, we offer collision repair services for up to 33% less than other auto body shops.
Off the face-off, the puck comes out to center. Handled by Holden. Lobbed out towards center ice. Shot ahead by McLeod. Blocked. Carried it through the middle circle by Dale Weiss. Broke his stick as he dumps the puck in. Head to the bench on a change. And the Avalanche trying to get a breakout going. Blocked along the near side wall by the Canadiens. Wound around for Prost. Behind the net for Eller. Spinning behind the Avalanche net. Lars Eller walks out in front. Shot stopped by Pickard. He was tied up against the post to make the save. And we'll be back with more second period play in Denver. Our game tied at 2. These lucky fans upgraded from the Ram Trucks fan zone to lower bowl seats courtesy of Ram Trucks. You can purchase tickets in section 362 for your chance to win and upgrade to the official truck of your Colorado Avalanche.
Michael, look at this. This is the President's Trophy rate right now. We have 10 teams within 1 win of each other. You go all the way down to Calgary, this 10. And they got 32 points. There's 6 clubs with 34. Now you throw in the Chicago Blackhawks with 31 points, Mike. In the next 13 games against that 11, the Elite 11 right now in the National Hockey League, in December the Avalanche have 9 games against those top 11 teams and 2 games against Winnipeg.
Pacioretty cruising in, he shoots, and a glove save made by Pickard. He has Pacioretty's number. That's 2 games now. Pacioretty's had so many scoring chances. Pickard's been brilliant.
But you can see why Pacioretty scores so many goals. But here is a good look at the Eastern Conference and how close it is there, right there. Toronto's trying to fight themselves. Boy, what an up and down here. Every time you turn around, Carlisle's job's in trouble, it seems, in Toronto. They've lost a horrific game to Nashville, 9-1 or whatever. But they're in the playoffs right now. And it's been an interesting year in the league.
See how many teams there appear to have 34 points. Play began tonight. Duchesne's got Tanguay in from the net. Turns pass in front, broken up by the Canadiens. And cleared out by Montreal.
Subban took a chance, but anytime you dive like that, but he did a great job of buying time.
Quick pass. Zipped right by Tanguay and Subban. Tanguay on him. Spins away. Carrying up ice. Pass over the line. Chenyuk pass across. Duchesne coming back defensively. Got a stick in the passing lane and deflected the puck out of play.
They were teammates on the gold medal team last year, but Subban, like a lot of defensemen, like are told, you don't die. You just don't. You don't go down like that because it's a win or lose. There's no gray area in that situation. But he went down and he won the thing because it bought time. You saw the 2 Montreal Canadian players get back right to the front of the net.
Kept in by Montreal. Taken away by the Avalanche momentarily. Scarboza had it. Then Gennon nails it around the boards. Held in at the point by Eller. Down the boards to the corner. Pass behind the net. Slowed up. Chase to the corner. Avalanche has got it. 2-on-1 happening for Colin. Make it a 4-on-1. Pass. Barry. Pass in front. And the Avalanche with a goal from Tyson Barry lead it 3-2. 4-on-1, and it looked like maybe it was going to dissolve, but yet it turns into a goal.
Wow, Michael, you're absolutely right. It just looked like the play was there, and all of a sudden it was too deep in the zone.
Went off of Prost, didn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Puck was up now right here. Briere's ahead of the play. He's trying to slow down, stay on side. Barry gets it, but I believe it went out the Montreal Canadian player, and Tyson Barry jumping up into the play.
Yep. Watch number 8 coming back here. It's going to go off his stick right there.
Right there and through.
Well, on the 4-on-1, Tyson Barrie gets the goal at 12:01. Max Talbot, Nate Gannon with the assist.
Assisted by number 25, Maxim Talbot.
Nate Guinness becoming a scoring machine, back-to-back games with assists.
Time of the goal, 12 minutes, 1 second. Of
The
the
Avs
second
now with a
period.
lead for the second time in this period.
From Talbot and Gannon at 12:01.
3-2 advantage for Colorado. The puck comes free for Weiss. In the Avalanche zone. Played off the boards. Gonchar around behind the net. Tangradi. Smith knocked him down. Tangradi got back up. Kicks the puck to the corner. Malhotra for Montreal. His pass broken up by McLeod. Quickly sent up ice. But it gets away from McLeod, and Gonchar whips the puck around. Tangradi waiting at the red line. Shoots it across, angling it to the corner. Hayden throws the puck behind the net for Erik Johnson to take. 7 minutes left to go in our second period. 3-2 for Colorado. Icing called on the Avalanche.
Well, at the top of the show, we talked about Tyson Barrie and that ability to jump into the play, get involved, gets a little lucky, obviously, here. But, Mike, it's just always a situation. Why is he there? I mean, that so few defensemen. When you see 3 forwards up the ice, so many defensemen will just back off and stay, you know, on the defensive side. Nope, Tyson Barrie, 3, that's enough. Let's make it 4.
4-on-1. Shot set. Rebound chance for McKinnon. Bounced away. Battles in the corner. Played up the wall and out to center ice by the Canadiens. Behind the back pass for Johnson. Over to Hayden. Hammered around the wall. Hit by Buchanan. Out to center ice. McGinley. Checked by Buchanan. Galchenyuk hit by Johnson. Allows Landeskog to get to the puck. Dropped in the corner for Johnson to take. Bounced in, and Gilbert, by the way, has more points than any Montreal player right now against the Avs in their history. Against the Colorado, all the players playing for the Canadiens right now, he's got more. And second is another defenseman, and that would be Gonchar. Behind the net pass from Tanguay for O'Reilly. Handed off to Barrie. To Duchesne. Comes out of the pack. Back to O'Reilly. Hand off to Gannon. Works his way to the half boards into the corner. And the defenseman shoots it. The other defenseman was on the receiving end. Both defensemen are in the respective corners. With the puck is Duchesne centered out in front. We know Barrie, he's going to get involved, but now Gannon on a 2-game assist streak, he wants to get involved offensively.
Offensive votes right now.
It was great. That was fantastic. Center ice, Tanguay, pass for O'Reilly, skip past him. And the Avalanche called for icing with 5:05 remaining in the period.
Well, there's Tyson Barrie. But Mike, the guy I was talking to yesterday was Nate Gannon, just talking about the relationship between Barrie and Gannon. And Gannon said, you know, we played together last year. I know what's going to happen. I know that he comes up the ice. I'll come across. He's really, we said, we don't talk that much. I just read off of him. Whenever he's going to be doing what he does so well, I come up in his area, and he'll come up on the other side because he skates so well.
And sometimes we just each go to the corner of the offensive zone. It's 3-2 in favor of Colorado, thanks to Tyson Barrie. For Alexis on the ice, and we want to look at defensemen and how they are scoring in this season.
And Tyson Barrie just continues to climb the ladder, Mike. What's interesting about the names you look at right there, well, who do the Avalanche play next? Calgary. So the top 3 scoring defensemen in the National Hockey League, unless some things happen, of course, are going to be in that game. But the thing I love about Giordano and Brody, Mike, look at those points. 17 points for each one of them have come on the road. That's Brody only has 4 points at home, and Giordano has 8, but 17 road points for those 2 guys.
The Avalanche winners of 13 of 22 faceoffs this period. Try to win another one in their own zone. Talbot against Eller. Canadiens have it. Subban to the circle. Pass. Shot. Big save by Pickard. He just robbed Lars Eller. Eller again with the puck. Pass back to the point. Along the blue line. One-timer by Subban. Tip score. That looked like it was redirected. That is an absolute rocket off the stick of Subban. He shoots. He's in the top 5 shooters in this National Hockey League.
I mean, Mike, when he winds up, it just feels powerful. Because we know, we mentioned at the top of the show, he's 6 foot. He's about 200-something pounds. He scored a goal much like this in Montreal. The great slap shot. What is that? That hit something on the way through.
It looked like it.
But either way, it's a situation now. The score is tied, Mike, and that's just a rocket from the point. But talking about the goal he scored at Montreal, that one was deflected. I think this may have just gone far side. Wow, 3 threes. It's a weapon, isn't it? It's still, when it gets, it's Weber-like and Charler-like and Subban-like, it is still a big weapon.
Time to go, 15 minutes, 16 seconds of the second period.
Goes 3-3.
From Markov. And
Subban, that's his
15,
3rd
16.
goal in 2 games against the Avalanche. He had 2 in Montreal in October.
And the games in between, Mike, he's had 2 goals in 19 games.
McKinnon, centering pass, deflected. Evelyn, chased by Landeskog, bounced it ahead for Gallagher, chipped out to center, 1-on-1. Gallenchuk cutting in front, he shoots, another great save by Pickard. All right, you got to love Calvin Pickard. After giving up that goal to Subban, he stood tall there as Galchenyuk charged to the front of the net.
Boy, he has shown some mental toughness, hasn't he, Mike? He's walked into a game with the Avalanche in relief, but the club was down 3-1 against Carolina. Knew they probably couldn't allow another goal. Walked in when they were down 3-0 and won a game. And then last game, a couple of unlucky bounces, and he was able to, at 2.
Another chance, right at the post, set it up in front. They got away. Out to center ice. Bumped ahead, Weiss lost it to Tanguay. Skates in over the line. Pass over towards Duchesne. Backhand it around, bounce free. Desharnais going down to the ice. They make a pass and shot across the rink. Icing. Hold on Montreal. 3:30 to go in the second, tied at 3.
Well, Calvin Pickard, of course, appearance at the game the other day, and just talking to him again yesterday, Mike. It's going to be interesting to see what happens now. I get the sense that for the Avalanche, they want him to keep playing. So when Varlamov comes back, maybe he goes back down to Lake Erie, just because Patrick Roy mentioned yesterday that the reason he's played so well when he came up, he was playing a lot of games down there. And so I think they want to keep that momentum.
Because if Varlamov, and the hope is perhaps he could be ready for Thursday in Calgary, he's going to play.
Oh, yeah.
The majority of the games, and rightly so. And then you've got a goaltender who's playing well. Put him back down in Lake Erie and just let him continue to play. That's the thinking process there?
Absolutely. And that may not happen. I'm just saying that they are going to make a decision one way or the other, I would assume. And the Avalanche schedule is such that there are off days in between games. The back-to-backs don't happen until they're on the road trip, and that's a while, deeper into the month.
Subban gave away the puck. Coming in at Duchesne. Hand off to O'Reilly. He winds, he shoots, saved by Price. Loose puck. Canadians have got it. Flipped to center ice. Back to retrieve. Barry. The length of the ice. And Colorado is called for icing.
Let's look at the 3 goals for PK Subban. Now here's the first one. This is the one that went off Johnson's stick, apparently, and just sort of changed direction. Here was the prettiest of the goals. He just stepped out of the penalty box, picked that puck up, and the Avalanche defenseman fell. And then tonight, the rocket to the far side.
And that goal tied the game at 3. That's where we're at with 2:59 to play in the second period. Canadians from the point. Shot by Emelin, knocked down. Side of the net, Barry. Backhands it up the board. And it comes out to center, Talbot. Pushed it through the circle. Chased by O'Reilly. Backhands it in. Dropped in the corner, Emelin. Hard up off the boards. Redmond had it for a moment. Taken away. Malholter. Center ice pass. Parenteau. Cutting in on holding. Shoots. Save made by Pickard. Parenteau Back towards the point. One-timer missed. Up the far side, Gilbert. Down the boards. Tangradi behind the net for Eller. Centered in front. Bouncing puck between the circles. And pushed to center ice. Handed in the middle circle to PK Subban. Cross ice for Eller. He shoots towards the net. Sticked aside by Pickard. Rolled around into the corner. Barzell to the point for Markov. Into the corner for Prost. He gets checked by Holden. Taken away and carried to center ice by Briere. Push the puck across into the Montreal zone. Colorado making a change as Eller drops the puck off. Markov cross ice pass deflected by Brust into the Colorado end. Johnson gives to Landeskog. Lost it. Back into the corner. Johnson takes away the puck for Colorado. 90 seconds left to go. Here comes McKinnon cruising in. He missed it on the shot. Around the wall, held in by Johnson. Knocked down momentarily by the Canadians. It comes bouncing free. Landeskog has it. Out of the corner. Johnson had to roll away from him. Chip back towards the point for Hayda. Down the boards and behind the net for McKinnon. Gonchar gave him a little bump. McKinnon stays with it. Centered. Gonchar couldn't deliver. Landeskog to the point. Hayda shoots. Caught against the chest by the goaltender Carey Price for a face-off.
Good work for the Avalanche right there, moving the puck around again. This is McKinnon's line, but McKinnon exploded in and tried to go far side on Price. See the numbers for Nathan McKinnon. It's been a little bit of a struggle to get the goals going, but the assists have been there for Nathan McKinnon.
Goal of 13 this season for McKinnon. Face off. Push to the wall. Grabbed by Duchesne. He shoots. Blocked by Subban. Bouncing puck in front of the net. Still around. Handled by Duchesne. And meanwhile, a penalty happening in front of the net.
I think they're going to call this on Alex Tanguay.
For goaltender interference.
Yep. Let's have a look at it. Tanguay's pushed him, and Price is just going to go down. I mean, he's going to sell that like there's no tomorrow. Here's Tanguay coming in behind. He and Markov get tied up. Price feels the pressure, and he just heading it down. You know, he's going to let the referee figure that one out. Okay, Mike, we're obviously a big juncture in this hockey game. Tied at 3-4 and about 46 seconds remaining in this period. The Avalanche penalty killing, which is, you know, the second goal was on the power play for the Montreal Canadiens.
They scored earlier on the power play in this period.
Alex Tanguay. 2 minutes.
Tanguay goaltender interference at 19:14.
15 seconds of the second period.
Parenteau coming through the middle. His pass deflected away by Talbot. Allows Holden to get a hold of the puck. Long pass to center ice. Comes free for the Canadians. Subban. Talbot forechecking down the last 20 seconds of the period. Subban coming out to the center. Long pass. Kicked off again and towards Pickard. He'll handle the puck. Put it off the glass. Kicked in at the point by Subban. Slides it across for Parenteau. 4 seconds to go in the period. Pass in the slot. Subban down low. Chipped by Holden. Right at the horn. And that ends the period. We had 4 goals scored in the period. And it's 3-3, but there's still time left on the power play for Montreal when the next period begins.
Mike, a game that has not been short of excitement. There's been stuff happening at both ends. Both goaltenders have made some big saves, got a little unlucky, but we head in tied at the end of the second period.
O'Reilly and Barry scoring the second period for the Avalanche. Markov and Subban, 2 defensemen, scoring for the Canadians. And so we are tied at 3 after 2 periods. Next is the Subaru Intermission Report. Colorado Avalanche Hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Groove Subaru on Broadway or online at grooveauto.com. Honda. Start something special with a great deal on a Honda. Now it's your Honda dealer. Pepsi. Proud to support the Colorado Avalanche. Pepsi. live for now. And by the Ford Explorer. It's time you did your exploring. Ford Explorer, go further. 20 goals during the second period, and now we're tied at 3, and a little bit of power play time left for Montreal as our third period is about to start. Before the start of the game, we talked about 2 electrifying defensemen to get involved offensively, Peter. PK Subban and Tyson Barrie.
And they haven't disappointed. They've been involved in this game. It's been a very exciting back and forth game. And for Tyson Barrie, you watch wherever he is on the ice, things are happening. He is so confident and very strong on the puck. I think that's one of the underestimated parts of his game. Here he jumps into the play, makes a 3-on-1, a 4-on-1, gets a little lucky, but the Avalanche take the lead right there. But Subban comes back with just a bomb on the second part of this highlight reel. Right, nice pass right there. But here's the pass across. Markov lays it out there and he fires it home. And Mike, we go into the third period, tied at 3. The Avalanche got outshot pretty badly in that second period. Montreal Canadiens are the second best club in the league as far as goals scored in the third period. So they got to shut them down. They have to shut them down and do what they've been doing of late, finding a way to win games.
Montreal still has 1:14 left in their power play opportunity. Now, if Colorado scores in the third period, you score with Subway. Visit your local Subway restaurant tomorrow for any regular 6-inch sub for just $3 after 3.
They got the wrong time for Alex Tanguay's penalty. It says it's 2 minutes, and that's obviously going to have to be corrected.
Should say 1:14 remaining. So as soon as that is rectified, we will begin our third period of play.
There it is right there. So we gave him a full 2 minutes. That's not the hometown discount, by the way. It's not the way it's supposed to be. If the other team was in the box, yeah, you tack on a minute or so.
So for the Avs, the next 2 games are on the road. Thursday in Calgary against the very surprising Calgary Flames. And then the next game after that is the very next night. They take on the Winnipeg Jets, and we'll be on the air on Thursday starting at 6:30 against Calgary. Peter, I know you're probably thinking the same thing. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Calgary Flames in person this season.
We all know what Bob Hartley can do for the hockey club. He's a very good coach. But this is a real surprise. I went back and looked at a couple of the books you get at the start of the season, and there wasn't anybody that didn't have Calgary but dead last in the Western Conference.
And then the Avalanche have a Central Division matchup the very next night in Winnipeg. Power play for Montreal continuing. We start our third period of play. Puck kicked out in front of the net. Back towards the point. Subban whipped it across. Shot towards the front, blocked by Johnson, hammered up the board, but kept in by the Canadiens. Slid across for Subban, comes out of the zone. Chased by O'Reilly, twists his way through the middle zone, everybody on side, hammered around the wall, cut off along the near side by Plekanec, back towards the point, Markov, far side, Subban walks in, takes the shot, slides it across, Plekanec's shot got blocked by Hayda. 30 seconds left in the Tanguay goaltender interference penalty. Plekanec's in the slot, shot! Tipped wide by Gallagher. Subban's pass broken up nicely by O'Reilly. Up ice for Talbot. And he shoots the puck in. Just 15 seconds left. One more rush for the Canadiens. Landeskog, good pressure. Pass comes across. Parenteau, rink wide. Buried in by the Canadiens. Pacioretty wound around the wall. Towards the near side, Gonchar couldn't hold the puck in at the point. Tanguay's out of the box. Poke checked at the line. Desharnais had it for a moment. Pacioretty steals away the puck. So, good penalty kill for the Avalanche. Pass across the rink for Parenteau. Into the zone. Squeezed off the puck by Holden of Colorado. And turned back behind the net. Up the far side. Tipped behind the net, Prost for Montreal. Bounce back towards the point. Sergei Gonchar. Brandon Prost, cross ice pass, kick to the front of the net. Bounce back behind the cage. The catch, trying to walk out in front. He got pinned, and the puck taken away by Landeskog. Charging up the boards, shoots the puck in. Stopped behind the net by Price. Peter, why is it so difficult for teams when you have a power play almost split down the middle by periods and the intermission? Why is it so tough to score? I don't know. I don't have the stat right in front of me, but it just seems like watching enough hockey through the years, you just don't see that many goals scored in those situations.
A lot of it's the fact that you don't get any momentum. You've got a shorter time in both ends to get some momentum.
Darbo's a pass in front of the net, broken up by Eller, bounced it off the boards. Canadians have it. Center ice comes Prust. Waits, gets over the red line, able to dump the puck in, angling it to the corner. They give to Talbot. Skates down the middle. He's in, he shoots, save made by Price, and he'll hold the puck for a face-off.
Mike, let's have a look at the Western Conference. Obviously, that's where the Avalanche live, and you see that club Winnipeg. That's why that second part of that back-to-back situation is going to be tough. That's the club they're chasing right now. The Avalanche win tonight. They pull within 3 points of that wild card spot. They haven't been that close in a long time. Mike, interesting in that Central Division. You go in the National Hockey League, the best top four defensive clubs are all in the Central Division. They've got Nashville, Chicago, St. Louis, and Winnipeg. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hayden shoots. Blocker save made by Price. Now Holtrum keeps the neutral zone. Backhanded ahead towards the corner. Van Drake catches up the puck. Plugged it behind the net. Insert for the Avalanche. Around the boards. At the blue line. Gunshard can't hold the puck in. Comes free in the middle zone. Emelin off the boards. Avalanche get it back. 3-3 in the third period. We play 3.5 minutes. Long pass for O'Reilly. Zip past to him. Around the boards. Subban nails it. Around and out. And it should be an icing call. Yes, there's the whistle to signal the icing.
Matt Duchene, who sort of, I think, relaxed a little bit last game when he had that goal and assist power play going for the Avalanche. Thought he had one right there. He and everybody in the building, I think, including Price, thought that one had gone in. But here's a nice little one-hand assist. O'Reilly hoping that gets him going. His 4th of the season.
As when the draw, shot by Barry gets blocked. Elchenyuk slides it across for Gallagher. Skates in, waits, pushes it down the boards. Elchenyuk tied up against the wall by Skemet. O'Reilly lost it. Shot by Gallagher. Save. Rebound shot. Another save and a brilliant one by Pickard. Scooped up by Duchene. Out to center ice. Dumped to the corner. Shift up the far side. Avs have got it. Redmond with a shot. Deflected wide. Up the boards. Got 27 shots for Montreal. And 18 in the second period. Centered. Back to the point for Holden. He shoots. Glove save made by Price. But how about Calvin Pickard and his saves?
Like, this has not been the most crisply played defensive game for the Avalanche. They have unfortunately had some turnovers. And Pickard, you talk about having to come across from left to right in a hurry, because Markov walked into that one and just unloaded. But for Pickard, Mike, we talked about those games he's walked in relief and won them when he knew he couldn't give up another one. Here he knows he's got it. It's tied right now. You shut him out, Mike, you win a game.
Hayden back it up into his own zone. McKinnon. Moving up the boards. Pass towards Landeskog. Bounce back. Landeskog with it for Colorado. Handoff goes to Eric Johnson. Back to Landeskog. Fed across for Hayden. To Landeskog. Back to Johnson. Escapes through center ice. Over the line with a pass for Iginla. His pass broken up. Waved up the wall. Hayden held it in. But then Parenteau turns, shoots the puck to center ice. Cut off by Hayden. Tipped it across for McKinnon. In the slot for Iginla. Back to McKinnon to Iginla. To the point. Hayden drills one. Blocked by Parenteau. Parenteau stung on that one. Stays on the ice. Johnson. Parenteau trying to get to the Montreal bench. As changing up their forward line. Long pass up ice for Prust. Puts the brakes on. And pushed out to center ice by Talbot. Picked up momentarily by Briere. Quick pass for Eller. Couldn't get through the neutral zone. All of a sudden, it's tough to get through the neutral zone here in this third period.
The game has changed, hasn't it? In this third period, there are lots of shots.
Penalty coming up. And the Avalanche will get a chance for the first time in this game to go on the power play. Lars Eller, with his hit in the corner on Redmond, results in a penalty.
Like, part of this is tripping, and part of this is dangerous play.
81 Montreal, minor penalty tripping.
Because Redmond is so close to the boards right here, and you stick your stick down in. And, you know, fortunately for Redmond, he was gliding to his right a little bit, so he didn't just go complete momentum into the boards.
Well, the Avalanche get their first power play chance. They're coming off a game in which they had 2 power play goals, and if they score on the power play, a lucky winner will get Avalanche tickets to an upcoming game, courtesy of American Lifestyle Furniture. Go to afwonline.com/altitude to register.
For tripping. Time of the penalty, 5 minutes, 53 seconds of the third.
Like, it was interesting last game in the power plays the Avalanche had. They were mired in that 1 for 31 coming into the game. They didn't score a couple. Patrick walked through the 4th lineup to get things sort of turned around.
O'Reilly pass in front. He had a man wide open. The net dislodged. And Duchesne yelling at the referee, why isn't there a penalty? I was pulled down going to the front of the net.
It looked like Duchesne was open on the far side as he was driving in. Driving towards the net. I think Duchesne may have a case on that one, Mike, because he was, let's say, impeded. You see the left side? He was trying to use his speed. O'Reilly was waiting and threw it right across.
He's win the draw. Subban turns, rifles the puck down the ice. Pickard will leave it side of the net for Barry to take. 1:20 left in the Eller penalty. Off for tripping at 5:53. Pacioretty behind the net, swept away by the Canadians and carried to center by Pacioretty. Max Pacioretty, drop pass. Plekanec shoots, missed the net, but the puck got tipped and up into the screen, out of play.
We talked about sort of the unusual nature of the game last game between these two. Twice a player stepped out of the penalty box and within seconds scored a goal for the Montreal Canadiens. And this is a beautiful goal by Subban. But again, you see him step on the box, move the puck up the ice. Defenseman falls and watch the move at the end. Nice move. That's a forwards move by a defenseman right there.
Pass to center ice for McKinnon. Skates in, runs into Weaver, followed by Landeskog, the trailer Johnson. He had McKinnon, and the puck zipped past him. Hustling over, Redmond held the puck in to the far point for Johnson. Cross ice, McKinnon down low, slipped away from Iginla. Chases the puck down. Fed back for Johnson to Redmond. Changes places with Johnson. Pass over to Iginla. Cross ice for Johnson off his skate. Back towards the point for Redmond. To Johnson. Avalanche still on the power play. Another 15 seconds left in the penalty. Pass in front. And it goes off of Iginla wide. Chopped around the glass. Not out. Held in by Johnson. Knocked down. Played off the boards and out by Weaver of Montreal. And that'll do it. Eller's coming out of the penalty box. Adds 0 for 1 tonight on the power play. No shot hit the net. Had a couple of chances, just missed. Barry comes in. He gets checked by Subban. Frees up the puck. Big catch. Chased by Talbot. Reverses behind the net. Gives to Subban. But Talbot, real aggressive forechecking. Long pass. Stolen away. And the slot pass. Blocked in the slot. Still loose. Canadians have got it. Pushed up by Sekac. Coming in over the line. Barry defending. Sekac pulls up in the corner. Cuts across. Poke check free. Eller turns and shoots and misses the net. Sekac gets the puck first. Coming up the boards. Pass to the point. Subban rolls it across in the slot. Back to Subban. He shoots. Weeks off the boards. Ridden away from the puck by Holden. Subban gambles and keeps the puck in the play. Eller to Weeks. He shoots wide of the net. Around the boards, kept in, just off the bench. Pacioretty circle behind the Avs net. still with the puck. Back to the blue line. Initially fanned on it. Gives to Gonchar. Shoots it towards the corner. Canadians. Subban behind the net for Weiss. Gave it to Pacioretty. Back to the point. Gonchar shoots, and it's blocked before it got to Pickard. Chipped out of the zone.
As we mentioned, Michael, Montreal with 31 third period goals, second to only Calgary with 35, Mike, in the third period. So they're used to some offense in the third.
That was a strong shift there for sure, but didn't score. Pass comes straight. Haven blocked it. Nice pass for O'Reilly from Duchesne. Over the line with the puck. Duchesne comes down the middle. There it is, and it's tipped wide of the net. Buchanan shot to the puck, couldn't get it. Away from man along the boards, Eric Johnson. Race for the puck. Duchesne gets checked. Tanguay, nice play. Duchesne goes down to the ice, gets back up. Fights for the puck. Evelyn took it away, but it's cleared up the wall for Parenteau. Pass to center ice for Buchanan. Dumped it in wide, and Pickard felt a little pressure. Covers the puck to get a face-off in the Colorado zone. It's still tied 3-3 in the third. Let's answer tonight's Did You Know question, brought to you by Stevenson Automotive. There he is, Pierre Turgeon. We asked you earlier which former Avalanche player was the last to carry the torch out of the old Montreal form. He was the captain at the time for the Montreal Canadiens, which is the reason he was given that honor.
And a great ceremony that night, in sort of an unusual situation. They played their last regular season game in the old form, and they started the playoffs in their new building.
9:47 to go in the third period. 3-3 game. Canadiens win the draw. Shot by Markov. Misses the net. Chased down by Tangradi. He gets checked. And the puck lands in the corner for Dale Weiss. Pass taken away. McKinnon. Up ice from Landeskog. Numbers developing. Pass comes across but misses again. And it is tipped, and the puck goes into the screen above the glass behind the net. The puck has gone out of play.
The face-off, even though the puck was knocked out of the zone way out by the blue line, it's going to be down low. That's an interesting rule, Mike. They put in a couple of years ago that I think they're trying to add some more offense to the league, obviously. So every face-off in that offensive zone in a situation like that is on the dot beside the goaltenders.
Canadiens had the puck after the face-off. Smashed around. Brendan Gallagher speeds into the Colorado zone, surrounded by three Avalanche players. Shot out to center, knocked down by Tanguay with a high stick. And that forces another face-off.
You see, Tanguay knocks it a bit, try to be subtle about it, you know, just pretend like he didn't really do it. And then he sort of kicked it forward to himself. Well, Mike, 9-11, remain in this game. There's a hero out there, and the Avalanche certainly will want to be on their side. Someone is going to come up with that next goal, obviously, and it's going to be a huge one.
Pacioretty couldn't hold on to the puck. Shot down the ice by Johnson. They're saying it went off an Avalanche. Excuse me, it's Montreal stick, so the icing has been waved off. And the Canadiens start their breakout. They give to Desharnais to the red line with the puck. Lost it at the line. It's back towards the Montreal blue line. Flipped ahead for Pacioretty. And a number of scoring chances against Pickard in 2 games against Calvin Pickard. Has not been able to find a way to solve them. Pickard's been great. Steal at center ice by Pacioretty. Turned it back into his own zone for Markov. Settles back behind the net. No pressure put on him. Gives to Subban. Gets some pressure. Out to center ice with the pass. Brought in. Galchenyuk coming wide. He shoots. And a tip by Gennin sends the puck out of play. And we'll return with more third period play in Denver. With our game tied at 3. Time for our Timberland Pro Hard Hit Highlights.
Well, Mike, this has been it's only been, what, three power plays in this game? It hasn't been a bruising game, but it has been just a lot of action. And Montreal Canadiens, they know that Tampa Bay won tonight. Tampa Bay pulls 2 points ahead of them in that division and Atlantic Division. So, you know, they're looking to keep up with them. But the Avalanche desperately need this next goal.
Not a lot of shots in this period. 3 for each team.
Yeah, it's really settled down here, hasn't it, after a sort of wide open second.
Yeah, we had 27 shots between the two teams in the second. 18 belonging to Montreal. Oh, one of the linesmen injured after the puck was dropped. Derek Amell is the linesman who is down. And here comes Matt Sokolowski, the Avalanche trainer.
Well, like as his protocol in the home building, the home trainer comes through. He falls back. He gets, I mean, just gets tangled up with the two guys coming off the wall and completely in midair by the time he came down. Sokolowski, Mike, who does such a great job of the Avalanche, and you know, Mike, we don't talk enough about the trainers and the job they do. He and Scott Woodward and all the training staff of the Avalanche, but he's in his 19th year with this organization here in Colorado.
He's going to skate off the ice. So we're going to have 2 referees and 1 linesman.
And the referees obviously are trained in what they're going to do in this. You see the referee going over talking, saying that, you know, one of the referees now is going to be acting as more of a linesman than a referee. He can still make all the calls, but you want those 2 guys. You can't give the lines to 1 guy. It's got to be 2 guys, you know, taking care of that and the icings and all of those things.
He has gone to the locker room and will resume play with 8:13 remaining. Here in the 3rd period, game tied at 3. Matt Duchene will take the face off the Avs against Thomas Plekanec. Struggle for the puck at the side of the Avs net. Finally, Colorado comes up with it as Barry moves it up the boards for O'Reilly out to center. Steal by Markov. His chip gets blocked. Plekanec sends it back into the Montreal zone. Subban snaps a pass across for Markov. Rink wide. In front of the penalty boxes for Gallagher. Shoots it around the boards. Pickard cuts it off. Slams it up the wall. And a block by Gallagher. Scramble for the puck. Back to the point for Subban. He shoots through some traffic, but the puck ends up coming wide. Galchenyuk chases it along the end boards. Again, it knocked him down. Played up the wall. O'Reilly sends it high in the air. And it will land finally in the neutral zone. Canadians get it back. Carried in by Eller. Stripped away. Followed up by Sekash to Eller. Checked by Holden. Sends the puck behind the net for Barry to take. Down from behind the net. Eller couldn't slow him down. Pass up ice for Talbot. Chipped it off the boards. Evelyn got in the way. Flipped the puck around to the near side. Sekash scored the first goal of the game way back in the 1st period. Up ice for Prut. Pass in the slot. Shot missed. There was a great chance for the Canadians. They could not send it on net as Sekash cut into the front. Dumped back in. Price rammed it around the wall. Talbot cut it off for Colorado. Puck behind the net. Evelyn got to it. Handed off to Gilbert. 6:30 remaining in the 3rd. Prut to center. Sends it back into his own zone. Evelyn, long pass up pipe. Weeks down the slot. In. Desjardins never pulled the trigger on the shot. Carried up ice by McKinnon. Skates into the zone. Broken up by Subban. Pushed behind the net for Pacioretty. Skates up ice. Desjardins got it up ice. Pacioretty 2-on-1. Pacioretty scored. And it's 4-3 for Montreal. Pickard had his number. Many saves until that 2-on-1. And Pacioretty, team leading goal scorer, gets to a dozen this season.
Wow, what a great shot. And Mike, you talked about it all night long. He had just been on the edge of getting the one for the Montreal Canadiens. Just a great shot by a goal scorer. I mean, you know, we don't see him very often, you know, Montreal Canadiens, and, you know, hasn't come to Colorado very often. They're in the Eastern Conference until the last couple of years. They'd only played him once a year. And we may not even see a guy like Pacioretty, but there's a talented hockey player that is a big part of the success of this club.
Another chance. Malholtra backhand try gets blocked. Max Pacioretty. We show you our Subway scoring summary. They have scored. You win with Subway. Visit your local Subway restaurant for any regular 6-inch sub. $3 after 3. Desharnais and Subban with the assist on Pacioretty's goal. Pacioretty out of New Canaan, Connecticut, Fairfield County. There's a guy, Peter, you think about U.S. teams. Here's a guy, big part of that. And behind the net, McKinnon with the puck. Into the corner for Barry. Dance away. Galchenyuk, long pass to center ice for McKinnon. Drop pass. Iginla comes in, broken up by Montreal. Up the near side wall. Landeskog keeping it alive for the Avalanche. Back to the point for Johnson. Coming across, he shoots, and Price able to make the save. No rebound allowed. Then McKinnon gets in a little tussle with the defenseman, Alexei Emelin. Things are calming down. Max Pacioretty with his 12th goal of the season on a 2-on-1 took the shot and has given Montreal.
Well, they go 4-3 now for the Montreal Canadiens and the Avalanche. Pacioretty got one, so he now has 8 third-period goals, and hoping for the Colorado Avalanche that Duchesne can come up with his 7th to look leaders amongst the players in the National Hockey League.
Face off though in the Montreal zone. This McKinnon line out with Iginla and Landeskog. They've been dangerous tonight. 4:53 left in the third period. Malholtra wins another face-off. Boy, is he good. Shot around the boards, down the ice. Gonna be another icing call.
Yeah, it's really interesting. For the Montreal Canadiens, like, they felt the playoffs last year, if they were missing something, it was an absolute dynamite face-off guy. One guy that could win a draw. They went out and got Malholtra. We all remember what happened when he got hit in the eye with a puck, wrapped up to Erik Johnson's stick, almost ended his career. Fought his way back, but now like he's the #1 face-off guy in the league, and on a club that's the #1 face-off.
The last two, and you as a centerman when you played, last 2 times right before the face-off, they huddle. Just give me an inside look. What are they talking about?
You're going over the same thing you got over before, but you want to make sure that, yes, we're all thinking the same thing. You're driving off the wall. You're coming up here. Nobody's running out of position, but I need help on this face-off by exploding off the wall and helping out.
Up the boards. Johnson slapped at it. Played up off the glass. It'll bounce down the ice. Pickard comes out to play the puck, so obviously no icing. Sent around. Cross ice pass for Iginla. Through the middle for Landeskog. Chipped in. Yes, come after the puck hard. Landeskog had it. Goes down to the ice. Chipped off the glass and blocked at the line. Sent out to center ice. Plekanec 2-on-1. Plekanec centered it across. And then Redmond, along with the Montreal player, I think it was Galchenyuk, slide into Calvin Pickard, who was slow in getting up.
I was going to say, I mean, he got bowled over on that play. The Montreal player right here just drives the net. Redmond does a good job to, knocking him away from the front, but he just slid right into the defenseman.
Face off in the Colorado zone. Pickard. He's taking his time. Now he's ready for the face-off. Duchesne against Desharnais, and Duchesne, nice win on the draw. 4 minutes to go. Hayden for Barry. Skates by one man. Forced back into the Colorado zone. Cross ice pass slowed up. O'Reilly fired it back for Barry to take. Chipped out to center ice. Duchesne sprints in, coming wide, gets by one man. He shoots, saved by Price. Rebound comes wide, taken away by Parenteau. Played it up off the boards and out to center ice. Here comes O'Reilly down the middle. Stripped away, Pacioretty skates to center, to the red line, and lifts the puck in. He wants to go to the bench for a change. Hayda. Hand off behind the net for Tyson Barrie to take. Pass through the middle, bounces for McLeod, but then comes back into the Montreal zone. Canadians have got it. Quick pass of Bice. It's fumbled and turned over. And the puck taken back by the Canadians. And flipped near side for Prost. Out to center for Eller. Over the line. Sika with the puck. Down the boards. Avs get it back. 3 minutes to go. Around the wall. Pass in front of the net for Johnson. Skates out to center. Avs are on the move. Coming in is Johnson trying to split right down the middle. He does. Save made by Price. Erik Johnson split the defense and got a shot.
He just took off. He got that puck right in front of his own net, Mike, and he just is gone. But the one thing, talking to defensemen, now on the Avalanche in practice and of teams around the league, like, he's so big and he's coming so fast that you can't, you get half a body on him, he's going to explode right by you. And he just split one of the best defensive pairs in the National Hockey League. That's Subban Markov right there. Just a terrific play. Here we go, Mike.
Well, with the face-off in the Montreal zone, Patrick Roy pulled Calvin Pickard for the extra skater. They put Malhotra out for the face-off against O'Reilly, and the Avalanche get the puck. They won the face-off. Barrie against the board, spins to get out of trouble. Skates beyond that center, and set, rebound. Wow, what a save made by Price into the corner. So empty net for Montreal to shoot at, but the Avalanche with the puck. Taken away by Malhotra. Got it out. No, didn't get it out of the zone initially. Then it's picked up. Chance for the empty net. It is wide of the net. Still alive for the Avalanche. Weeks battling along the boards. Avalanche has got it. Carried up ice by Barrie. Cross-ice pass chipped in by Iginla. To the corner. Behind the net, O'Reilly. Freed up. Pass around the glass. Didn't get it out initially. Comes out to center. Knocked back in. Delay. Offside. Shot down the ice off a linesman.
Would have been nice.
Avs do have the puck. 2 minutes to go. Ooh. McKinnon got away. Pass at the line. Brought in onside by the Avs. Briere. Down low. Duchesne centers. Stolen away by Markov. Didn't get it out of the zone. Briere had it. Shot it back in. Offside. Colorado.
Yep, the Avalanche, Mike. Boy, it is amazing having watched last year. And again, this year, the confidence they have in these situations.
Oh, boy, when you see that replay, how close that was to being a goal. Pickard remains on the bench. 6 skaters for the Avs taking their timeout now. Coach Patrick Roy using his timeout.
Well, what you do in that situation, Mike, you soak it as long as you can. You're trying to get, as you know, extra 25, 30 seconds.
There's Calvin Pickard.
That's about as close as it comes right there. And again, let's not forget that one of the linesmen, Mike, he is back now. Okay, so there is the full complement of linesmen and referees. Pickard back in net, Mike.
With the face-off in the neutral zone.
Yep.
They're going to go with Desharnais for the face-off for Montreal. And for the Avalanche, they'll use Ryan O'Reilly. Briere has gone back to the bench because there's only 5 skaters out there. Canadians do get the puck. Pass for Subban, lifts it in the air into the Colorado zone. Johnson retrieves the puck. Gets behind the net with it. Into the corner, and the handoff to Barrie. Barrie, Johnson, O'Reilly, Duchesne, and Tanguay. Pass for Johnson. Out to center ice, broken up by Subban. Smacked back into the Colorado zone. Johnson Up the board, Steele in front of the net, bouncing puck, shot off the post! Off the post! And Duchesne comes out to center ice. He's into the zone. Drop pass. Broken up by Montreal, flipped out to center ice. Pickard's gone to the bench. We're down the last minute of play. Steele center, coming in is Briere. Briere breaks in, centered in front, blocked. O'Reilly threw it back around the board. Barry hustled, he kept it in play. Shot, blocked, side of the net. Back to the point, Barry broke his stick. The Cannons come out to center ice. They're looking for that empty net. Pacioretty shoots, it deflects wide of the net. There's still time, but Barry doesn't have a stick. They get to Duchesne. Pass through the middle for Tanguay. Into the zone, pass across for Briere. Skates into the corner, threw it out in front. Swung into the corner, Gonchar shoots it around, and Hayda falls down, and the puck comes out to center. Gallagher stripped to the puck. 5 seconds to go. Slammed in around the boards. 4 seconds left to go. O'Reilly tripped up. 3 seconds down to the final buzzer, and that's it. The Montreal Canadiens hold on and win this one 4-3 over the Avalanche. Exciting final thrusts for the Avalanche, but they just couldn't get that tying goal.
Boy, Michael, you look at it now. Now they're 5-3 in the last 8 games. What's been the common theme?
The best player on the other team wins the game.
Best. Washington, they lose 3-2. Ovechkin scores. Against the Chicago Blackhawks, Kane has 3 assists, including assist on the game winner. And tonight, Pacioretty, their top goal scorer, best
all in the third period.
All in the third
their
period.
top guy comes through
inside the final 10 minutes. And so, hats off to those guys.
All right, once again, our final score, the Montreal Canadiens 4 and the Colorado Avalanche 3. Please join us again on Thursday, the Avalanche on the road in Calgary to face their old rival, the Flames. We'll begin coverage at 6:30. Now, let's get to the Blue Sky Grill for the AutoNation Toyota Locker Room Reports.